bother to dress? You could have ridden Cole away.
Do you have any more questions?
No, Your Honor.
You are dismissed.
The Crown would like to call now on Elizabeth Hill.
Elizabeth Hill, come forth and be heard.
Okay, at this time, we needed to get a volunteer from the audience to play Elizabeth Hill. Since we just arrived here, I'm going to have to get a script, and I'm going to get a volunteer to play Elizabeth Hill. Order in the court. We kind of rushed into this because you guys are here so quickly, and we needed
This is
to.
devilish hot. We did not want to waste more time.
We have the script. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Hill.
There's Hill, the script's here on the deck as well behind you. No.
Elizabeth Hill, we're going to have a volunteer. We have a volunteer to play Elizabeth Hill. Okay, I'm sorry.
Elizabeth Hill.
Congratulations!
Please remove your headgear.
Okay. So you're going to start right here, Larson, and then your Hill.
Elizabeth Hill, do you swear the evidence you're to give in this trial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, but under the grace of God and our sovereign Lord King George II?
I do swear.
My lady, how did you come to witness this crime of theft against the plaintiff on the first night of August 1758?
I have been doing some sewing for Mr. Cresmer, who resides up the road from Mr. Meyer. Cresmer needed his drapes repaired, you see, after his two boys mistakenly set them aflame. The job took me longer than expected. I did not leave until 10:30. As I passed Mr. Meyer's residence, I noticed a man who I believe to have been the defendant, leading a gray horse down the path of Mr. Meyer's abode.
And why do you believe it to be the defendant?
I recognized his face, although it was obscured by a beard at this time, which I note has since been shaved. As I recognize the unusual high-brown boots that the defendant is wearing now, is the same boots he was wearing that night. He was also stumbling, as if inebriated, as Mr. Meyer said.
Thank you. No more questions. Wilcox,
Mr. Wilcox, you have Elizabeth Hill, you are dismissed. Do you have any questions, Mr. Wilcox?
I do. You say you recognize whoever stole the horse as being me from the cut of my boots and the length of my beard.
Yes, that is correct.
And while it is true that I have shaved my beard recently, many men have also shaved their beards in order to stay cool during hot summer months. Is that not correct?
Well, I suppose it is.
And the shoes which I currently wear, haven't you seen these? And the boots I was wearing that night, have you not seen those on other men in the county of North Antrim?
Yes, I have, but on only a scant few. You are one
Those of you that are here in the exhibit,
dons that particular stock.
So other men wear them.
contract.
Yes,
This whole section
they do.
is the
Mr. Wilcox, do you have any more questions?
No, Your Honor.
Elizabeth Hill, you are dismissed. Please return the script.
Your Honor, having proven the Crown's case to the members of the jury, the Crown rests in the matter of accusation of horse theft against Joseph Wilcox.
Mr. Wilcox, do you have any witnesses you wish to call on your behalf at this point in the trial?
I do. I call Leonard Roth to speak in my favor.
Leonard Roth, come forth and to be heard.
That means we're looking for a volunteer. Leonard Roth. Okay, Leonard Roth.
Are you sensing a pattern here?
Leonard Roth.
May I put my instruments away, sir? I have some modern instrument.
Here we go. Leonard Roth. He's going to give you that.
Is it all in English?
It's all in English. He's going to give you the Bible to swear.
Wait a minute. Allow me to wear my glasses, sir. I have modern glasses with me. They are my spectacles, but I won't make a spectacle out of them. Good. Where's my insert?
You just,
Ladies became good at 5.
Do you, Leonard Ralph, swear that the evidence you're about to give in this trial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you under the grace of God and the sovereign Lord King George II?
Yes, I will, sir.
That's what many of this whole.
Upon the first night of August, 1758, where were you?
I was present at the Bachman Public House, where I was eating and enjoying the company of my friends. I remained there until late at night.
Ah, and what friends were with you?
I was going to say none of your business, but our friends were Hans Baumann, Hans, my brother Hans, Jasper Stone, Richard Dieter, and Joseph Wilcox.
Ah, so I was present at the tavern with you. Until what time?
Late at night. I do not remember when precisely, but I distinctly remember one chiming the hour of 10 midnight. After that, the evening became kind of blue.
Mr. Wilcox, do you have any more questions?
No.
Sir, you said that you were at the Bachman Public House until 10 o'clock. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, sir.
Were you drinking upon that evening?
Well, but not enough that my recollection of the night was gone.
Well, did you not just say that the night was a blur? Is it not possible that the defendant could have left after the evening became a blur to you?
Yes, I suppose it could have been, but I do not recall being in them here. But I have a quick. I just had a quick.
Mr. Jennings, do you have any more questions?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Leonard Roth, you may step down. Mr. Wilcox, do you have any more witnesses to call?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I call Catherine Nelson.
Catherine Nelson, come forth and be heard.
Do we have a volunteer for Catherine Nelson? We have the hand in the back there being lifted up by...
David, if you're here, David. Do you, Catherine Nelson, swear that the evidence you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you under the grace of God, sovereign Lord King George II.
So where were you upon the first night of August, 1758?
I was working at the Bachman Public House as a serving lunch.
What hours did you work?
I worked all day until closing.
And did you see me there during the hours where I was purportedly stealing Mr. Meyer's horse?
I saw you there until roughly 10 o'clock as you were drinking with Mr. Roth. After that, things got rather busy, and I ceased to notice precisely who was there and who wasn't. But I do recall seeing you there past 10 o'clock.
And even if I were to leave at 10 o'clock, do you believe I would have had the time to steal Mr. Meyer's horse?
I do not.
Mr. Wilcox, do you have any more questions?
No.
Well, I have one question. Is it possible that in your haste, you perhaps mistook someone else for Mr. Wilcox?
Well, I suppose it is possible. I do recall, to the best of my ability, seeing Mr. Wilcox at the public house past 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
Do you have any more questions?
I do not, Your Honor.
You are dismissed. If there are no new witnesses, I would call for the final summations. Please summarize your case. And I will remind you that we will entertain no new testimonies. King's Attorney Jennings, you are
Thank you,
first.
Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, clearly you can see from the testimony presented here today, this man does not have any credible foundation. His witnesses were weak at best. I urge you to find this man guilty so that we may find remonstration from my client here in the matter of his horse being stolen. Thank you.
Mr. Wilcox.
The evidence brought forth by the king's attorney is shoddy at best. Mr. Meyer claims to have seen me walk late at night reading by a dim light. His eyes were not able to see clearly who was stealing his horse. And there are a number of trees between his residence and where his horses are. And I have two credible witnesses who have said that I was here on that evening of August 1st.
Is that all, Mr. Wilcox? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, because as was indicated earlier, he chose to be heard and tried by a county of his peers, of which you are. So I need you to decide whether or not he is guilty or not. First off, I would like you to decide or have a volunteer as a spokesman for the jury, after which time we will take a vote and you can declare the result of that vote. So do we have a foreman of the jury, a volunteer perhaps? Foreman? Okay, you are the foreman, right behind you, okay? He's the foreman of the jury. I'm going to have you then evaluate what the decision is once we ask for a finding of guilt. How many people think the defendant here, Mr. Wilcox, is guilty?
Now, we got a witness in the jury pool.
Which doesn't count since women weren't going to be part of the jury anyway. So she couldn't be on the jury. So we can eliminate her. So do we have a count there? Okay. Okay. No, just wait. We were looking for. Was that guilt?
Yeah, guilty.
Now we're looking for acquittal. How many people vote for acquittal?
More than seven.
Okay. Foreman of the jury. Is the jury ready to return a verdict?
We are, Your Honor.
What is that verdict?
Not guilty, sir.
Damn! Open your eyes, man. Thank you for your decision, jury. Mr. Wilcox, you are now free to go and do not have to pay any charges of any sort. This session is now over.
All rise, this court stands adjourned. God save the king.